the need for this party to succeed cannot be overstated. There's never been a moment in my lifetime that I can think of when the possibility for a serious party of the left, a party that examines the roots of our failing system, has been so great. There's been such loyalty to the Labour Party, and that is fading as Starmer drives it to the right, tolerating, supporting, colluding in genocide, watching the lives of ordinary working class people just driven down and down and down as public services fail, the constant struggle that people face, and Labour is detached from it. The circumstances could not be greater, could not be more demanding. So we must succeed. And I want to talk principally about the political statement, which I think is the core, must be the core of this new party. But I want to say, first of all, I'm really worried about the state of what we are calling, or should call, the grassroots democracy of the party. And I have serious questions about what is happening. I want to know, for example, who is writing the official statements that come to the members? Who is writing them? There's no name. We don't know who they speak for, whose authority they have. Can we please know, put your names on next time. Who are you? Who is planning the national conference? Who are you? You've written a lot of documents. Please put your names to them. We want to know what happened to the bank account. Why did that take so long to sort out? Why is it still in a mess? Why could not the account just be carried on? It's perfectly legal. It had good trustees or whatever they were called. Why did it have to be changed? To some cynical old hacks like me, it looks like a power struggle. I hope it isn't. We need comradeship. We need friendship. We need trust. We need to work together. That's the party I want to see. It's the party I want to join. I don't want to join a party of factions. We need no factions, no cliques, no secrecy. Transparency is essential to democracy, and we're not having it, and we should not tolerate it. And that's my worry. So let's put an end to it now. One other point to add to that, and this is really serious. The national conference is in less than a month. We had 3 months of silence. Suddenly this urgency. Now, there is no time for these documents to be studied, responded to thoughtfully by all the members in their branches or proto-branches or gatherings in the name of the party. There's no time. We can't propose serious alternatives. Well, we can, but they're bodged together. There isn't time to discuss the consequences of these, what is being presented. We need more time. And I think one demand that must go out from as many people as possible, and certainly be there at the national conference, is to postpone the decisions on the major documents. They need more time. These will be thoughtless decisions. And again, I hope that is an intention. We have the words of democracy. We don't have the time to establish the reality. Now, this worries me, and it's so wrong. We don't need this. We don't need it. We have the time. We can work things out carefully. Every member can have a voice in their branch, think it through, because it has huge consequences. This should be with us for generations to come. And it's being pushed together in a rush. Anyway, the principles of the political party I want to see. And when we come to the political statement, every political statement I've ever seen of any consequence begins with an analysis of the current situation, domestically, and we know what all those issues are. Internationally, and we have the wars and the genocide, and also we have the climate change. Huge issues, all of them, huge issues. I wanted to see a concise analysis, doesn't have to be pages and pages long, just a concise analysis of the current situation, and I wanted to draw the common denominator of all those issues, because it's corporate power, the push for spheres of influence, the aggressive nature of foreign policies that on the one hand has to drive down the cost of labor to ensure their profits, on the other hand has to push for spheres of influence, and on the other hand has to grab the raw material, the diverse resources. We have a common denominator, and that's what our principles and our politics should analyze and find and have a series of principles that will end that. So the first issue is the analysis. Second issue is the how to build a mass party. How are we going to build it? And again, I mean, for me, we start with the grassroots. And the party should be a call from the grassroots, not top down with anonymous people sending us documents, a call from the grassroots. And that is where the party should spring from. And then the third, the political principles. And if I've got time, Norman, can I very quickly run through them? I'll be as quick as possible. Sharp as Wednesday, quick as lightning for an old bloke. Right, 7 quick principles. First, an economy. There's an echo of the old clause 4 here. An economy that secures all who work should receive the full value of their labor, either directly through wages or indirectly through public services, and based on the common ownership of the means of production, distribution, and exchange, with the most democratic system of control and administration that we can imagine. I mean, it's a little bit, few words longer than that, but that's the essence of it. Common ownership, democratic control, and nobody getting ripped off. Common ownership is the fundamental point. Secondly, the welfare state. What is the welfare state? It's where everyone has security so they can live lives of dignity and fulfillment, healthy lives. And it is from each according to their ability to each according to their need. So no one need worry for their disabilities, for their illnesses, for the things that make it impossible for them to work. But if you remember when we were kids wanted to join in. And the idea that people are lazy, don't want to contribute, it's nonsense. We need a society that captures that enthusiasm of kids, where everyone wants to join in, everyone wants to contribute. And in our society, that would be the expectation. And however you suffer from a disability, there will be something you're good at, something you can contribute, something they have a value, and everyone will be of value. And that's the essence of the welfare state, seems to me. The third principle is the protection of the environment. I mean, what could be greater? And to secure and protect the world's natural resources, and to secure and protect all the rich diversity of life. So I'm not putting that well, but that it's the essence of our environmental policy, preservation of the whole richness of the species and everything that we have now. Fourth, and this again should be very clear and not contentious, and that is that everyone should have the protection of the universality of human rights and the protection of international law. And that's the essence of where we stand on questions of peace and everything. Everyone has that protection, human rights, international law. And then related to that, the next principle I suggest, and this is innovative, and obviously people should discuss it, it's on your draft, but I think that we're to follow the lesson we have learned so strongly from Gaza, what's the point of international law if it has no teeth? What is the point? And the United Nations has been a kind of woeful bystander without the strength to carry through it what we know is should happen. So this is the principle that I've written down, and there should be a democratic international organization, and with no state having the right of veto. I mean, it's time we stopped rewarding the victors from 1945. It's 80 years ago. What about the countries of Africa, Latin America, Indian subcontinent? A democratic international organization with a peacekeeping force and with its courts of justice to settle international disputes peacefully, and with a peacekeeping force that has the authority to which every state should contribute, has the authority to enforce the rule of law, and if necessary, intervene militarily to ensure that everyone is protected by the universality of human rights, and to end war crimes, because we cannot have the whole world seeing a massive cruel injustice like the genocide we're watching and allow it to happen. That's not tolerance. That's what we learned from Gaza. We must have international law that can be enforced. And it's a long way away, of course. Of course, we know it's a long way away. But just imagine the UN ambassador from our country saying, we need to act to prevent this genocide happening. Now that would be a change. The next principle would be opposition to all forms of discrimination and racism. Yes, and that includes the ideologies and movements that promote racial supremacists. Now, that can apply, of course, and for me it would, to Zionism. That would be in our principles, because they promote racial superiority in that part of the world. It could also apply with, obviously, white supremacists everywhere, but it's there, and it could be used, and it would have to be argued, but it could be used. But we could contain that dispute within our party, and it goes on to say, and the positive discrimination could be allowed when a disadvantaged group, to allow a disadvantaged group to reach parity with its peers. Now that would cover the trans debate, because those who support trans rights would say this allows for the disadvantaged group to be helped to attain equality of treatment, humane treatment. Those who oppose it could argue within that, well, those positive discrimination would discriminate against others. Well, that's a discussion to have. And we can contain it within the principle. But the principle is, if a seriously disadvantaged group suffers, then we can support their positive discrimination. And the last one is, I'm afraid, one that I think is particularly worries me and concerns me, and I think is about the better side of the world we want. And that is that sports, leisure time, and the arts should be accessible and available to all, to enjoy, to celebrate and contribute to, and because of coming to the arts, the great tradition, cultural heritage, diverse cultural heritage now, the music, the literature, the visual arts, theatre, and I have to say cinema, and that's the essence of the rich, healthy lives that we want to create. and to write it in as a principle. It's there, reminded of the old saying, we want bread and roses too. And my God, we do. And it should be a principle. That's our entitlement.